welcome to an introduction to machine learning by Nikita Silaparasetty. This video was first seen on the AI for Women webinar. To know more about AI for Women, please log on to www.aiforwomen.org. Alright, so let's begin. In this tutorial, we'll go through the fundamental concepts of machine learning just to get a basic idea of what it is. To make things simple, we'll begin with the what, why, when, where, and how of machine learning. So, what is machine learning? Machine learning is the process by which a machine learns to perform a particular task without any explicit programming. So basically, we don't have to directly tell the machine what to do. Instead, we allow the machine to figure it out by providing it with data to learn from. Now, why do we need machine learning? It's simple really. So with machine learning, tasks become easier, quicker, and much more efficient. So we can consider a quick example. Now, if we take a manufacturing industry with a human being and a pre-programmed machine, say a robot, both working separately to manufacture a particular product, we find that the machine finishes the work faster, without too much difficulty, and the quality would be relatively better, while the person would take a little more time and he might have some difficulty, and there may even be some flaws or some mistakes in the finished product. Now, where and when do we use machine learning? So I decided to group these two together, mainly because they imply pretty much the same thing, the applications of machine learning. There are so many applications and there are so many more being discovered, but for now we will just go through 3 of them which I felt are most relatable. The first is a spam filter, which we all might be familiar with. Now, with the help of machine learning, emails can be classified into spam or not spam and then separated out accordingly. The second is recommendation systems, which is something else that we are quite familiar with, aren't we? So most online stores, they recommend products based on a user's recent activity and or preferences. So this is also done with the help of machine learning. Now the third is GPS. So I know a lot of us, we need Google Maps to travel around, don't we? So there's so many more navigation systems that enable us to travel easily. These apps use machine learning to determine the fastest routes, to calculate the estimated time taken to reach a certain place, and they suggest alternative routes just in case, there's a change in traffic conditions. Now, how do we use machine learning? So this is probably what requires the most elaboration when it comes to machine learning. And to understand how machine learning really works, we will need to go through some important concepts. So first of all, we have the types of machine learning. Now, machine learning is mainly of 2 types, that is supervised learning or predictive models and unsupervised learning or descriptive models. So let's see the difference between the 2 methods in the picture here. This picture, by the way, is on our Instagram profile, so if you would like to take a better look at it, you can always go to our Instagram profile at AI for Women Official. Right, so here I have listed 5 differences between supervised and unsupervised learning. So first, supervised learning is a method of machine learning which deals with labeled input data, while unsupervised learning is a method of machine learning which deals with unlabeled input data. Supervised learning is commonly used for classification and regression, while unsupervised learning is commonly used for clustering and association. Supervised learning has a known number of classes, while unsupervised learning has an unknown number of classes. Supervised learning learns from a training data set, while unsupervised learning does not learn from any kind of training data set. Now let's come to 2 examples. So supervised learning, if we give a machine a set of labeled cat and dog pictures from which it learns to differentiate the 2, then we can make it classify new sets of pictures into cat or dog. While for unsupervised learning, if we give a machine a set of unlabeled cat and dog pictures, we allow it to find differences on its own and then separate out new sets of pictures into that of a cat or that of a dog. Right, now coming to the 3rd type of machine learning method, which is called reinforcement learning. In this method, machines are taught by reinforcing what they have learned. So if they give a correct output, then we give them a positive signal, while if they give an incorrect output, we give them a negative signal. This is sort of similar to training a pet, don't you think? So when they do the trick right, we reward them with a treat and we reinforce what they have learned. Now we have different methods of machine learning. The first is regression. This is used to find values for continuous variables. So for example, we use it to predict the price of a house or the price of a stock, a person's consumption behavior, and so on. Second, we have classification. This is used to find values for discrete variables. So it can be used for binary classification where there are only two classes. So for example, determining if a picture is that of a rabbit or a cat. Or we can use it for multi-class classification where there are more than two classes. So a similar example would be determining if a picture is that of a rabbit or a cat or a dog or a squirrel. And another example which I've given here is determining if an email is priority, regular, or spam. Now third, we have clustering. Now this is used to classify data but without having any prior knowledge of the number of classes or even of the labels of the classes. So the machine would find similarities between certain data completely on its own and then groups them together as a possible class. Most real-world data is actually unlabeled and thus it requires clustering. Now, for example, if we have a set of fish images, we can use clustering to find out how many different types of fish there are in those images. The fourth method is association. This is used to find, as the name suggests, associations or relationships among items within a data set. So an example would be if a customer purchases a phone and a flip cover, they would most likely also want to buy a screen guard. Now coming to machine learning algorithms. So here I am not going into details, I'm just going to touch upon the different algorithms. We will do this in detail in later videos. So we have the types of supervised machine learning algorithms. We have linear regression, support vector machines or SVM, neural networks, which is a major part of deep learning, decision trees, naive Bayes, and nearest neighbor or KNN. Next, we have types of unsupervised machine learning algorithms, which include k-means clustering and association rule. Finally, we have types of reinforcement learning, which includes Q-learning and deep adversarial networks. Alright, so that's it for this tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. So this was just meant to teach the basics, okay? So for anyone who just wanted to learn the fundamentals of machine learning without the hassle of going through several thousands of articles or 1 hour and 2 hour long videos, this would be, most beneficial for you. So if you liked it, please do leave a like, and helpful comments would be appreciated, and suggestions as well. And please subscribe for more content. And if you would like to connect with me, you can always connect on the links that I have provided here. Alright, thank you so much and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.